Welcome to XConnect. My name is Kareem Kanji. Thank you so much for joining us. We are doing our fourth and final episode of these conversations focused on health and technology, and we look forward to hosting you at HealthConnect. Make sure you've registered at healthconnect.eventbrite.com. Very excited today to bring to you a conversation with the CEO of Palomino System Innovations Inc. We have here Markus Latzel. He has initiated and managed multiple collaborative research and development projects with various industry and university partners. His day-to-day work is to drive and execute Palomino's strategy and oversee the technical vision for the WebPal product suite. Markus, thank you so much.
Thanks, Greg,
for dropping by. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Well, let's first answer this question. What is the WebPal product suite?
The WebPal product suite is a cloud server application that is primarily focused at document management, workflow integration, and content management. So pretty much workflow applications that are very content rich and require a lot of collaboration. So one could see it initially as a content management system.
Sure.
But we have a very strong foothold in healthcare, among that financial services as well. But in the healthcare sector, we're addressing mostly the needs for patient record systems, electronic health records, communication between different caregivers and different disciplines. So a number of different things that we're after.
You know, when people talk about content management systems, you know, they're thinking about, you know, your basic website where you want to upload content, whether it be written, photo, video, or whatnot. And you guys, you know, you just finished talking about how, you know, you do some work in the healthcare and financial services industry, and this sounds like a lot more. You're doing a lot more things here. Can you explain to me a little bit about how WebPal, how this product, WebPal, works with healthcare, and why it's so powerful?
Okay. Maybe the best is an example.
Sure.
We have a client out in Nova Scotia, of all provinces.
Okay.
There is a region of 5 different hospitals with different healthcare practices. So we're talking mostly long-term care, so we're talking senior care, community care, palliative care as well, that currently have trouble working collaboratively in a way to actually exchange information about the patients. So their mandate of providing patient-centric care is currently suffering because they mostly have the problem of actually sharing information. So if you turn that around to a technology environment, you actually realize this is a content management issue. There's a lot of content being generated by the caregivers about the patients, yet that content is not being shared and is not being shared adequately.
To other caregivers.
Exactly, with the right providers.
Yeah.
So, you know, picture a community care nurse that is visiting the patient. Currently they have the community care paper-based records with them. They realize, you know, last time this patient was visited by community care, there's certain issues that were identified, emotional issues, pain relief, even family issues. You know, there's knowledge about who the caregivers in the family are, the informal caregivers. All of that information is passed on by caregivers within a paper-based record, but unfortunately that stays mostly within the same discipline, within community care. So now, that patient is being transferred to another program. In some cases, of course, unfortunately, palliative care. But in other cases, it just gets transferred to a different jurisdiction, or it gets transferred through a referral to physiotherapy or occupational therapy, for example. There is information that is very valuable if that gets transferred to the other disciplines. And again, we have the problem, we've identified the problem that in healthcare there is a lot of different disciplines, there's a lot of different work groups, they all have different systems that they work with. Usually these systems are very have very high constraints on the kind of data that can be put into them, if there are systems at all. They're very much relational database driven. So they're difficult for caregivers to handle and difficult to use. It is much easier for them to treat this type of content the same way that they would treat their paper-based records. Here's a form that needs to be filled out.
Yeah.
I have a visual of that form.
Sure.
It, you know, if I have it in an electronic way, it actually should look like a paper form. I should have the feeling that I can print it out, that I can pass it on to other caregivers, or even leave a copy in the home with the patient. I should have that physical connectedness to content that is being supplied by the caregivers and that is also passed on to me as a caregiver.